All right, today is the 27th of September 2024, and we are about 20 minutes prior to the New York Open. So, before we get into the charts, I just want to spend a couple of minutes on this. Um, okay, so the purpose of these streams, or whatever you want to call them, this educational videos or these live New York streams that I'm doing, is to just basically drive this home, right? The right action leads to the right result. So these 4 points, these main 4 points, right? They're not in any specific order. They all are important, equally important. All of them have equal value. So these are the four things that I try to show or try to do with every New York session that I trade, right? This is what I do on the stream. This is what I used to do before I started the stream, right? Learn to draw supply demand zones correctly. So these are the four things that for any new trader, for anyone who's trying to be profitable in this business, these are the four things that I would recommend that you spend time perfecting. Okay, learn to draw supply demand zones correctly. Identify high liquidity zones, HLZ, to trade from. Okay, so identify a zone to trade from, a zone, one or two zones to trade from for your session, if you're a session trader. Learn to draw support resistance levels correctly, right? The word correctly here is very important because you'll find, even in supply demand, you'll find several indicators out there that will draw them for you. There is no indicator that will draw supply demand zones correctly, right? Supply demand zones, the concept of supply demand is a very fluid concept because there is no, it's very hard to write an algorithm to encompass the correct base in candles of a base of a zone, right? Uh, I write algorithms, so I know that. I tried that for a few years. It doesn't work. I tried everything possible. It doesn't work. So my learning and my experience over the past decade is that it's only experience is going to teach you how to draw them correctly, right? You got to just draw as many as you can when you're back testing on weekends, when you're practicing. You got to draw as many as you can to get them right. Okay. Um, then even if you do practice, you might not get them right all the time. That's fine, right? But there has to be a certain amount of accuracy in how you draw them every time, right? You cannot keep kind of changing the way you draw them with every with every trade that you take. Then the second is to identify high liquidity zones to trade from, which I have been showing in these videos. To learn how to draw support resistance levels correctly. That's, drawing support resistance is fairly easier. I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's a little easier than supply demand. Supply demand is a little more um, it's a little bit more complicated than support resistance, right? And they are completely two different things. Sometimes you'll find a support level exactly where a demand level is, but that doesn't mean they're the same thing. They're different concepts, okay? And learning support resistance, you can learn it fairly quickly. Supply demand will take you a lot of more practice, a lot more time to master that. Then the fourth thing is to learn to manage risk when your trade goes in drawdown, right? So these are the four actions. These are the right actions that you will need to take during your trading session to have the right result. Now, the right result um, uh, can be a win and can be a loss. The loss is also a right result. Remember that, because your trade plan, if you have a trade plan, you have a certain win rate. Let's say you have a 60% win rate. That means 40% of your trades are going to lose, right? That 40% of, to have a 60% win rate, you need to also have a 40% loss rate. Okay, so a loss is a part of your trade plan. So don't ignore it, don't disregard it. it's as important as your wins. Just as much as you get excited when you have at the end of a winning trade, at the end. So if you have, let's say, for example, a certain TP level, or one or two or three TP levels, and once your final TP level, the third TP level or the first, second, or whatever the final TP level gets hit, you'll probably get very excited because um, you feel that you've taken the right trade and you did everything right. So at the end of that trade, once your final TP hits, you get really excited, right? You should have the same excitement at the end of a loss. So once you take a loss, if you learn to manage risk when your trade goes in drawdown here, at the end of a loss, you should feel the same excitement that you had at the end of a winning trade. I hope that's clear. Okay, so that's one thing that I just wanted to share in this video. I'll keep talking about this over the next few days and weeks, because this is the purpose of this slide here encapsulates what I want to do with these sessions. Okay, so let's get straight to the charts now. Okay. Um, Right. So this is the daily time frame. Again, I really don't care what's happening too much on the daily time frame for us, for session trading, but we are bullish. It's pretty obvious. Price has been bullish for several weeks now. We are bullish. Okay. So yesterday's daily candle closed above 2650. 2700 is in sight. Right. That's probably the next area where price could either pause or break and close above. All right. So let's go to our trading chart and look for H4 zones. Uh, Before we do that, I just want to talk about, so if you have watched yesterday's stream, or if you do go back and watch yesterday's stream, I just want to talk about yesterday's buy trade um, that I had marked here, and it did work, right? It did work. Price pushed up. Um, it did not come here to the sniper entry, but it just came there. It came to the mid of the fib, right? Touched after this candle, came to the mid of the fib. That candle there, the reason the fib is drawn on that, and we drew this yesterday at the end of yesterday's session, was because that's the liquidity wick from this green area that we had marked, that I had marked, right? So price came to the mid of that fib and went straight up there, right? Went up 175 pips, okay? And now we've come back to that area again, to that same fib level, and we're pushing up again, okay? So anyway, this is just, I just wanted to show what happened with yesterday's kind of setup that we had planned, okay? Right, let's go to our H4 time frame and start our zone. So let's get rid of all of that. Okay. Okay. I'm going to keep this here just to save time. This is basically a rally, base, rally. Okay. You have a leg in, a base in candle. The base in candle has more wick and less body, and the zone is drawn from the start of the open of the start of the body to the lowest wick in that base, right? So we have that. So let's just extend this right. Okay. Um, let's start with supply. Let's start looking for supply first. Oh, okay. Um, Yeah, so we have a rally, a base, and a drop here. Okay, somewhere there. I'm just going to mark these roughly for now, and we are going to fine tune them, or we are going to kind of refine these zones later. Okay, there is a rejection there at the top as well. Okay, so there is a rally and then a drop here, a rally and a sudden drop. So there is supply somewhere here. So we're going to put that there, and we're going to go down to basically the H1 and see if we have a zone there. Yes, we do. Um, roughly there. Okay. Any more supply? No, that's it. That's the only supply. Now let's draw some demand zones. Um, here we have a drop and a rally right here. Drop and a rally. There is no base here, so we're going to look for a base on the H1 time frame. I'm going to look for a base on the H1 time frame, but there is a drop and a rally. Okay, so go down, see if there is. No, there really isn't. Price already came there. Maybe on the 30-minute. Man, I don't like going down 30-minute, but no, there isn't on the 30-minute either. So there's no need to go any further down because there's no zone on the 30-minute either. I mean, this, I don't want to extend it all the way up here because price has already come deep into that. Okay, so we're going to just keep it on the H4. I'm going to keep it on the H4. So that's the start of, that's the leg out candle. That's the 4-hour leg out candle, and price came in there. I'm going to look left a little bit more to see if there is anything else. We have um, a drop and a rally here as well. Um, this is very ugly, by the way. These zones are really, really ugly, but prices traded below that. So yeah, we're gonna kind of ignore that because price is already traded below that. Yeah, this low broke that, so I'm going to ignore that area, ignore this demand also because price already came through it. So below, from here down, from this point onwards down and left, um, there is something here. There is something here because that is a drop, a base, and a rally, and price came back into it, touched it, and went up. Okay, so there is some sort of zone there. We're going to go down to the H1 and have a look at that. On the H1, yeah, this one here, right? So there is a drop and a rally. Okay, a drop and a rally. There is no base in candle there, so there's a straight candle push up, and price. This is about below all these lows. So that low is 49.89 and this low is 49.83. Yeah, so this low, the end of this base covers all of that, right? So we're going to leave it there. We'll just look on the 30-minute to see if yeah, there is a better base there on the 30-minute, right? On the 30 minutes it's a lot more clearer. Perfect there. Okay, and price has kind of tapped it, has it? Open is 54.68 and this low is 54.84. No, it hasn't tapped it yet. Okay, so right, so let's, since we're here, let's put in the numbers there. 54.68 and 49.83. 54.68, 49. 49.83, sorry. Okay. Um, this low is 54.84. Yeah, so we haven't touched that zone yet, but prices come very close to it. And the open is 60.90. Okay. Okay, 1 second. There's something happening there. Right. That's kind of demand. Now let's try to clean up supply. So we have a open there 7104 and the high is 7793. 104, 73. And then we have this 558, 730, 558, and this high 793. 7. Okay, so price has already tapped this. The zone has been tapped. It was tapped yesterday. So price went up. That was the push up. Went tapped this zone, and now we came down and we're reacting back to it. So there's nothing much as our price has just been trading within this range, within yesterday's range of 240 pips. We've been basically bouncing within that. If you go at the H1, if you go to the H4, you can see how this is how ugly the H4 looks like. This is why I call it a very ugly price action. Those are almost all just kind of basin candles or dojis or whatever you want to call them. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, so 17, right? Yeah, that's 68 hours of yeah, that's basically 3 days, right? So 3 days of just ranging in that, within a range, right? Price is just kind of bouncing in between about a 230, 240 pip area. We're just ranging between that wick there and about there. So that's about 230 pips. So within about 230 pips, we've just been bouncing for the last 3 days. We go up, we come down, we go up, we come down within 230 pip range. Okay. So there's not much happening. This is the almost the last week of the month. You can consider this. There is Monday is the last day of the month, but you can consider this as the last week of the month because next week is NFP. Is it? Yeah. So next week is going to be a busy week. We've got NFP next week. Um, so NFP shadows everything else. None of these are, even though they're red folders, they are not as important as NFP. Everything is going to kind of set up for the NFP move, right? So I don't really care too much about everything else that's happening. So I consider this almost like the last day of the month because next week is almost the beginning of the new month, and it's also the NFP week. So everything else that happens prior to like before Wednesday is not really important. Monday, Tuesday is not really important because we're going to be setting up for NFP on Wednesday and Thursday, right? Um, NFP is on Friday. Okay, so this is what we have. We've got a rally, a base, and a drop for supply. We've got a H1 zone up there. So we're going to mark these out now. It doesn't matter. That's zone. Okay. Now we're going to look for high liquidity zones, right? Like we usually do. Which one of these zones? We've got 5 rectangles here. Which ones are high liquidity zones and which ones are not? Okay. So it's not clear on the H4 because it's just kind of garbage to the left. So we're going to go down to the H1 to see what happened. Is this a high liquidity zone? this supply, this rally, and this H4 zone here. Now this open was 1 server time here, right? That's the zone. Close 73, 71, 73, 71. Yeah, that's the zone. Rally, base, drop, dropped a red, then some dojis because market was just kind of opening here, so kind of ignore those two candles, and then we continue to drop. So you can, if you ignore those two dojis, we got same color candles coming down, and price came up to it during the Asian session, and then dropped. And this is this is what happened in the London session and Asian session. Continue to drop and come down to this demand. So that's the zone there. Okay, that's refined on the H1 time frame. Yeah, that's kind of refined more on the H1 time frame. So did this zone take out something to the left? This low, but this low was not taken out by this. This low was taken out by this move down. Interesting. Yeah, close 69.60. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. I'll have to get that basin candle also into that, and then so then we took out this zone here, right? This move took out, and I'm going to refine it to this candle, close 70.49. 70.49. Okay, close 70.49, high 793. 793, 70.49. Okay, so that's what I have, right? That's the closest supply. Yeah, that's okay. We'll go down to the M30. Perfect. We got that small base, drop there. Perfect. Okay. NY has just opened. We've got news today at around in about 30 minutes from now. So I'm going to wait for news. I'm not going to do anything right now. I'm going to wait for news. I'm going to just finish my analysis and then post this on the group. And I'm just going to wait for news basically. Got 30 minutes more for news. Okay. So that was that's yeah, this base came back here, tapped into this and pushing down. Close 69.60, high 69.54. Let's keep it there. Let's keep this there. Okay. Yeah. So this base, H4 base, on the H4 time frame, so rally, two basin candles and a drop, took out this H1 demand to the left. Okay. So this is a high liquidity zone. So that's the reason it's called high liquidity zone, because it took out an opposing zone. Okay. Okay. This zone, did it take out anything onto the left? Um, yeah, we had demand here. We had demand here. There's a demand there. There was demand there. There was demand here. And there was also demand here, right? So all those are visible on the kind of H4 as well. So all of that was taken out. So this is also a high liquidity zone. So it's going to mark that also a high liquidity zone. Okay, this move out took out that demand there, and this demand here, right? This drop, base in candles, and rally. So three demand levels it took out. So we're going to mark that a high liquidity zone. Now the demand down, are they high liquidity zones? This one, did it take out in the left? No, it didn't, right? This one, did it take out into the left? Yes, it did. It took out that, right? It took out this one to the left. Okay, this move up came here and took out that one to the left. Okay, this was the start of the move. So this is a high liquidity zone. And this one, this didn't take out anything on the left here. There is nothing here that it took out. If you go down to 30-minute, there's nothing. Okay, yeah, it didn't even take out this. If you had taken out this, maybe I would have considered this high liquidity zone, but it didn't. It didn't take out this supply. Okay, perfect. These are the zones for the New York session. Okay. And this one took out these highs here. I had explained this already yesterday. If you go down to the H1 time frame, you'll see that there was supply here, rally, base, drop. This move up took out that. So this last one, this bottom one also here is a high liquidity zone. Okay, perfect. I'm going to quickly put this on the group. Just post my analysis and execution for everybody on the group. Okay. So previous daily closed above 2650. Prices pushing up. What is my prices? Now we have a daily SR level here. We have support form there, right? We have support and resistance there. We have a resistance there at 777. Then we have an open here, 701. Right, so we're going to take the most recent one. Can get rid of that. Okay, so we have a daily SR level here at 2657. Okay. 2657, 657. Hmm. 2 previous daily closed above 2650. Yes, above 2650. Next stop is 2700. Price is reaching H4 demand. We have demand there. Prices are reaching H4 demand right now. Very close to H4 demand. There is daily SR below current price. Yes, there is daily SR below current price. 1 second. Yeah, okay. 2657. Okay. We have created resistance here to retest this low. This low was created in about 3 hours after London open, so it's like kind of dead volume time, not really London open volume. But price is nevertheless to create a resistance to come and retest this low now. So we're going to take a look at that if they have an opportunity there. Um, mm. price to create a new high. Okay. So previous daily, so here's what kind of, if you're trading the signals of the indicator, then here's kind of what you should be kind of looking for. So the analysis of previous daily has closed above 2650. Yes, closed above 2650. Possible next stop is next stop 2700. Price is reaching H4 demand. We've got demand there. There is daily SR below current price at 2657. Okay, price can pull back, bounce off, or reverse at this level. So you just kind of pay attention to it. You don't like try to do anything with it, but just keep an eye on that level if you are trading the signals of the indicator. For sells, you can wait for a sell signal from supply, or wait for price to create a new low, pull back, create M30 resistance, and then retest that new low that it created. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Um, Otherwise, for buys, you wait for a buy signal from demand. So demand is this green box or this green box, ideally lower down here. You wait for a buy signal lower down here to go up, or you wait for price to create a new high. So it doesn't, it just comes here, probably creates support, goes up, makes a new high, pull back, create M30 support, and with that M30 support, look for a buy signal to retest the new high it created. Okay, and wait to trade after PC price index news. Okay, do not take buy trades inside or near. Don't take buy trades inside here, and don't take sell trades inside here. Right? That should be obvious now. Okay, so we got about 15 minutes for news. Um, all right. Let's see what price has done so far. So we have a drop here. We took the close of that candle, 69.60, perfect. That makes sense. 69.60, yes. Um, Price came close to it, 69.54, didn't get up there. Um, if I'm to take a trade here, I would have wanted to see that supply already been tapped, but it hasn't been tapped. So it's possible that that supply is going to get tapped today at some point. If prices to kind of react to this and go down, it's possible that that supply is going to get tapped. But we did come very close to it, under a pip. So maybe that is enough. But I would have liked to see it touch it, because this high is 69.54, and the close is sorry, this close is, yeah, so 6 points short of it, basically 54.60, 0.60, 0.54, right? 6 points short of it. I would like to see it get tapped, being much more comfortable than for price to continue down, but it hasn't tapped it. So maybe it might do it in the New York Open, or at after NYSE. That's possible. So going to keep an eye on that supply zone. Okay. Um, do we have a liquidity wick in there? Did it grab liquidity? Nothing on the H1. Nothing on the M30 here. There's a candle there that price hasn't come to. There's almost a flat top there. Yeah. So price hasn't come to this area, which is only on the M30. Here. We haven't come here. 793,423. Sorry. 793,423. Oops. right. Uh, okay, but what does that look like on the M15? It looks ugly on the M15. Yeah, it looks very ugly on the M15. And yeah, I don't think I want to take a trade there anyway in that. Nah, that's just ugly. That is, yeah, that is ugly. There is no liquidity. Price is not. There's no liquidity grab there. So I'm gonna delete that because apart from that, price has not really grabbed liquidity there. So I'm gonna kind of ignore that. Up here, do we have a liquidity wick here? Is priced tried? No, it hasn't. It hasn't come here. It's come there. We're gonna have to see. Wait for price to get here because that candle looks good only on the M30. It doesn't look good on any other time frame. It doesn't look great on the H1. There's nothing on the. There's just a bit of liquidity on the H4. There is a. This candle popped in there. That's that. Seven nine three 223. Okay, I'm going to come back to that. Right, I'm going to just leave it there and I'm going to come back to that. We've got about 8 minutes for news. So this one, there's a liquidity wick there that grabbed from that zone there, that demand zone there. Yeah, so price did come to this here, this demand zone here that we had drawn yesterday. There was a zone right here that we had drawn, a drop and a rally, and price did come to that. So that is, this wick is important, but price already reacted to that wick. 58 pips, and price has come to the middle of it. Okay, so maybe that's that the liquidity there, buy liquidity is already consumed there. Just look at that on the M30. Yeah, there is a wick there, clear wick. On the M15 also very clear. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm gonna draw a fib there nevertheless and keep it, because that's a very nice grab of liquidity. So the high there is 65 and the low is 484. 484. Okay. Price is right now doing nothing. It's just in between this area, in between 85 pip range, right? I'm not doing anything right here. I'm not doing anything. We're just going to wait for the extremes, see if price will come up to these areas. And we're going to see how it reacts in those areas. So that's, price hasn't come to this. So this is a 50 pip stop loss, is way too big. And that is 25 pips, that's absolutely fine. That's also in line with the daily SR level, perfect. So I'm going to watch that area there. Um, and then there is another liquidity wick here that price grab liquidity from this area, which is an uh, yeah, visible on the H1. That candle there, rally, base, rally. Price came down there, grabbed, and that line is also around 2650, which is psychological number. Perfect bounce and went straight up. Okay. So there is a liquidity wick here as well. Um, yeah, we're gonna pay attention to this area. Price never came there. 441983. 93. Okay, perfect. Yeah, just under about 20 pips stop loss. That's fine. This is also fine. That's also fine. So we've got. So I'm gonna. So basically now, you see what I've done. I've looked for liquidity in those areas, right? Like we usually do. These are the extremes. These are the places I want to see price come to look for a possible trade. Either buy trade somewhere here, here, or here, or a sell trade somewhere here. And if you go higher, maybe here. And the reason for this is because of the H4. There is a big H4 wick. Now about 3 minutes to news. There's this big H4 wick that grabbed liquidity from there. We pay attention to that. Price has already come up there. So we're going to pay. I'm going to pay attention to that. And also then higher up is um, this big candle here. Okay, this area, this big candle. So price could come easily above it, and we could come to this candle because we didn't come to this candle. Just keep that in mind. We didn't come to this candle yesterday. We tried, but we didn't. So we're going to pay attention there. If we come there, then we can take a sell trade there as well. So either here or here for a sell trade, and either here, there's somewhere here or here for a buy trade. Okay, these are the areas. Either I sell here or I look for a sell here. Either I look for a buy here or I look for a buy here. That's the plan. And they're basically all about 25, roughly about 25. Yeah. Okay. Now, what's news going to do? Let's just look at what news is going to do. So on the M15, we have this high broken. Price could react here and come down, but let it do that. I want price to get up here. I'm not going to do anything here. I don't because there's not much of a range for it to come down to this. Is hardly any movement. 50, 60 pips is not good enough. I want it to come up there because if it does come up there, or even here, if it comes up here, there's a bigger move, about 140, 150 pip move down. If it comes up here, we've got about a 200 plus pip move down. Okay, that's the kind of move that I want to see take. 50, 60 pips is not good enough. So price can very likely, we've broken these two highs, we can very likely do this. We can very like just 28 seconds more, come here and then push all the way down. That's very possible. Keep Just make note of that. 266,750, come to that area, and then we could push down, or we could just go straight up, because we've also broken two lows. So the next candle can push up, straight up. The next candle, that's possible as well, for the next candle to push up. Um, yeah, yeah. So it's pushing up basically. That candle, because it broke this low, this candle broke this low. So price should push up. It should come back. It should come to this this dark light red area, right? That's where price should come up to the light red area. So we're going to wait for it to come up there, right? So that is basically the news move. Respect this low. The fib is drawn on this candle. It touched the mid of the fib, and we are pushing up. It should reach 2670.11 and then should go up further. Now we've touched this zone, which is good to see. So that move up there was a 59 pip move. We've touched this zone now. We're going to wait. I'm going to wait for the candle to close. Because the candle's price is going to come up higher. It should break above this. It should break above this, right? Then go higher. That's the plan. So it should come up somewhere there. It should go up another 50 pips. It should go up another 50 pips. Break above this. Yeah, we should take out these highs here and go deeper. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if even price comes here. This would be better. If it gets somewhere here, this would be even better. Gotta wait for the 50-minute candle to close. See, we've got a 13 minutes more for this candle to close. Right. Okay. Yeah, so that was the only news event for the day. Um, it's not a, it's, I don't really care about these news events. These kind of news events mean nothing. They're going to just spike price up a little bit to generally a zone, uh, supply or demand zone, and that's about it. And it's not going to kind of break through a zone or anything, because there's not a lot of volume in these small news events. Yeah, so they were expecting kind of, the same numbers as the previous time, but we got bad numbers. So bad numbers means maybe gold just pushes up a little bit. That's probably what happened. But I think we should go higher. We should we should get we should go higher above that. In terms of support resistance, um, yeah, this is a support level. I don't want to congest the chart right now with any more lines. I'm just gonna leave it like this. We will draw support resistance lines later if price gets close to our area and we get in on a trade, then I will draw support resistance levels. But right now I don't want to clutter the chart any more than what it is. Okay. Um, so the next candle, wherever this candle closes, it might close here, or it might close up here. I don't know. The next candle should break this current candle high and go higher. Once it breaks the high, we have to wait for I have to wait for that candle to close. I got to wait for that candle to close. The next candle, if price is to come down, price has to break uh, the next candle. This candle has 10 minutes to close. This candle, okay? This M15 candle has 10 minutes to close. If price is to go down, the next M15 candle has to break this high again. Whatever this current candle's high, it's got to break it and go higher. So you got to wait for that candle to close. I have to wait for that candle to close. Once it closes, then I have to see if the candle after that is going to break that high in the first couple of minutes, 2 to 3 minutes. If it doesn't, then we can see, depending on the wick that it's created and where that candle has reached, if it is reached here or here, and if that falls in line with something on the left, a supply zone on the left, a smaller time frame, like a 5-minute supply zone on the left, then I can take a trade to come down if the stop loss is fine, right? That's the plan. I hope that made sense. That's what I'm waiting for. So this candle has to close. This has about 9 minutes for this candle to close. The next one will break the high. Then I have to wait for the next M15 candle to close, and then after that, I look at the chart and see where price is and see if we have a trade or not. Okay. So we have some time to kill here. So price came down. So just make a note of this fib here that I've drawn based on this liquidity wick candle, right? This liquidity wick candle was at around the NYSE time, NYSE open yesterday during New York. So it's a very important candle. Price came to the mid of that candle, the midpoint of that candle, right? Uh, that midpoint aligned with this level of this candle, right? This candle's perfectly 2659, 2659. So they're both around 2659. Wicked that, and now we've pushed up 135 pips. Okay, just make a note of that area. Price came down, reacted beautifully, but again this happened not at my trading time. Now this is the kind of trade that I would want to take, right? This is the kind of trade I would want to take. Yeah, stop loss is about 36 maybe. Yeah, a little bit high, about 40 pip stop loss, but still it's a very important and it's a big wick. Okay, so expecting price to come deep in, and if we look left on the smaller time frame where this is, maybe on the M5 you should see like a little zone. Yeah, a supplies, there's a demand zone there, drop base rally, go down to the M1 and you should see a zone there. Yeah, so perfect. Drop, these are all basing candles, and that's the leg out, right? This is part of the base. Drop, 1 2 3 basing candles. Even though this has a big body and less wick, it's still part of this base because that's the leg in. Okay, that's the leg in, right? And this is the leg out. So those 3 candles are the base, and price touched it perfectly. 2659, right? And 2659, yeah, around there. So that I would have kept that if that what happened in New York session, I would have placed the buy limit order right there, and then price anticipating price to go up. But that happened in a time that I don't trade. This is the kind of time that I start to trade. So this happened well before this. Okay. So, but price did tap it beautifully to the pip, and it's now pushing up. It's pushed up about 135 pips. Okay. Now we've touched this area. Very important to note, we've touched the light pink area, but we got to wait. I got to wait for the 15-minute candle to close. It's touched that. Okay, so that's good to see. Touch that area. The next candle has to break the high, so we've got to wait not just for this candle to close. The next candle, once it breaks the high, then I've got to wait for that candle to close. So we've got another 4 minutes for this M15 candle to close. Let's see how big this wick is. 22 pips. Supply zone, 1 minute. No, I'm gonna wait for the candle to close, and then maybe this high doesn't get taken out because we've tapped into this light pink area, right? Tapped into that. We tapped into it once already. Yeah, I think we're probably going down. So this took out one high. This is the second high. Yeah, I'm gonna 238, 425. 238. Okay, let's see how this candle closes. The next one takes out the high, then no. But this candle broke this high. This candle broke this high. Two highs are taken out. We've tapped the liquidity area. We could go higher. We got to wait for this to see how this candle closes. It's very important. Right now it's pushing up. If you break the high, then it's pointless. Then you got to just wait for the next candle. Yeah, we are pushing up. We are pushing up. Couple of minutes more. Couple of minutes more. Four. A minute more. 238, 425, 238, 425. Let's see. The next one breaks the high, then we wait for that candle to close. Yeah, we're breaking the high right now. Yep, broke the high there. 240. 240. 44. Wait a couple of minutes. So that's the M15 candle. It's a very strong bullish candle. It's very likely going to break the high. Very likely. Very likely going to break the high. We're going to wait. If you come down here, I'll take a trade. If you come to this 70.39, I'll take a sell. But if it breaks, then nothing. We'll wait for the next candle to close. Yeah, we broke. So we're going to wait for the next candle now to close. Okay, we're going to delete this. So in the first, this was the first minute. In the second minute, it broke the high. So I generally wait about 1 to maybe even 4 minutes, 1 to 4 minutes. Within the first 4 minutes or the first 5-minute candle of the new candle, a new 15-minute candle open, if it breaks, then you got to wait for for the next candle to close. It doesn't have to be 5 minutes. Sometimes it just happens. I just watch the first 3 minutes, right? The first 3 minutes is usually what I watch. So this happened in the second minute. It broke the high. So now you got to wait for this candle to close because you got to see where it's going to close. Now we had said that this high was going to get taken out. So that's probably what's happening right now. Yeah, we tapped that high. We're going to take out that high. We're going to go beyond it, right? We're going to go beyond it now. Yeah, it did. Now it's gone beyond that high there. So we've gone exactly as we anticipated. We've gone beyond that. We're coming into this candle. Now this is the candle that I want to kind of pay attention to here. Okay, this M15 candle. I'm gonna put it there to the low 423. Okay, we tapped that 423. Okay, now I want to see. So if I do take a trade here, that's what a 45 pip stop loss. It's quite steep. It's quite steep. You got to wait for this candle to close. But we did tap into that. This is a engulfing candle, a bearish engulfing candle. This was the beginning of the move down. Okay, move down was about 150, 160 pip move down. It started right there, and we've tapped into that. So we've broken above this high, tapped into that. I would like to see price come at least to the mid of that candle. So yeah, that's how we had drawn it first actually. High 793 and low 423. 793, 423, perfect. Yeah, that's how I'd initially drawn it. So price did tap into that and it's dropping. Yeah, see, tap, drop, 36 pips. But I have to wait for the candle to close. I can't just jumping on a trade here because, I mean, if I did, my stop loss would have been about 37 pips. I don't know how deep price was going to go. But it is falling. We broke that high, tapped into that candle, and we're falling. Yeah, it's too bad. Too bad. And this happened at late NY yesterday. So 793,580, 580,793. Okay, so this is 740, this high 739. Yeah, we all came to that, just touched it and dropped. And we are reacting into 2673.60 right there, perfectly to the pip. Just price touched and has dropped 40, could drop further down. But yeah, I just can't take a trade with a 42 pip stop loss. I mean, 40 pips is borderline. 40 pips is borderline. Mm. 40 pips is borderline. It's quite steep. If you get up here, be amazing if you get up here. That's all fine. Taking entries here, all fine. Close 641. 641. Bet on this. 658. 721. Right. I would have ideally I'd like price to get up here. This would be perfect. 13 pip stop loss, 8 pip stop loss. That'll be perfect if you can get up. That's drop, base, drop. That's also basing candle. And if you go down to the M1, there's a zone right there. So price couldn't get back in. Tried to, couldn't get back in. After this drop, it tried, couldn't get back in. Close 641. 641. Yeah, that's the sweet spot right there. That's the sweet spot. If we get there, if we can get there, that's in that zone, in this red zone, this dark red box. That's the area. That's the extreme. That's the area I would like to take a trade. If I had a gun to my head, that's where I would like to take a trade. That's where I would take a trade. But price did touch this light red area and push down almost 50 pips with about a 38 pips, 37 pips stop loss, dropped down about 48, 50 pips. So that is very decent RR, but I would have loved price to come up here. I don't know whether it will, because now we can kind of draw support resistance. 5 minutes for this 15-minute candle to close. Yeah. Okay, so we have a touch there, 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 right? Now, above that, 3.5 minutes for the candle to close. Yeah, okay. That's the resistance that we're reacting to right now. 286. Okay. Yeah, 30-minute, 15-minute, even on the 1 hour, it's clear resistance there. So that's the area that we're reacting to right now. We are closing a doji there. A minute and a half for this, a minute for this candle to close. Grab liquidity there. You are closing a doji there. I don't know if I should give this trade a chance here or just wait high here. 434, broke a high, yeah. 434, 944, 434. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna give this trade a shot here. Stop loss above that. 34.74. Okay. There's a zone right there. We come there. I'm gonna then one here. Open 96. Close 198. Open 96. Seventy-four, 74.74. Yeah, it's about 25 pip stop loss. So the close here is 290. 290. Can we come up here? Can we? Got a strong rejection there on the M15. Can we come up to tap here, this resistance, and then continue down? Because that's where we've drawn the resistance, right? And that resistance is kind of correct, yeah. So we've got a tap there, we've got a tap there, we've got a close above, then wicked to this, closed above here, touched here, touched here, touched here, touched here again, touched ranged here a little bit because this was the open of the day. Then came down, tried to come back, failed. Tried to come back up, closed above, closed back below, and now the same thing. So yeah, yeah. I'm not going to chase price here. That is, I'm not going to take a trade with a 49 pip stop loss. That's not going to happen. But I'm going to wait here because that is about 24, 25 pips, which is okay. 24 pip stop loss, that's fine. I've divided my risk into two positions. So if price comes here, I'm willing to take a I'm going to take a trade with a stop loss just above 74.34, and yeah, and if price goes against me, then I'm going to manage risk by, I'll need to see a 15-minute candle close first, right, to be able to manage risk. Right now, I just got this 115-minute candle. So this 115-minute candle, it's kind of impossible to manage risk on a single 15-minute candle, right? So I need this candle to close, maybe the next one to come back up here and get entry. So if this candle closes, if this candle doesn't come up here, the next, yeah, and if price is supposed to go down, the next one should break this high. But if it breaks the high, I don't know if it's going to come all the way up there or it just breaks the high here and then continues down like it happened, like what it did yesterday. That's possible too. But we have tapped into this red area, light red area, which we had marked. So, which is all in a high liquidity zone. This is all part of this high liquidity zone. Right in the middle of that high price came to the middle of that high liquidity zone. So price needs to come deeper so that I have a tighter stop loss. I'm not going to chase price here. If it doesn't come, so be it. That's okay. Yeah, so we failed here. Came down, 5 minute came down. Price failed to come back up here. So price needs to come there or break this high. If it breaks this high and goes deeper, then I'll take another trade up here. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. There is already a trade up there, so there's no need to take another one. Yeah, I would have loved to see a 1 minute supply zone here, but there isn't. There's just a rally and a drop. What yesterday we had done this exact same thing and price didn't come up. It just came a little bit up and it just continued down. It didn't come to our entry. It just broke the high. So this is what happened yesterday. Here We had marked it, it broke the high. This was the candle, exactly like this, right? We had the drop, we drew the fib, price came. Um, so the fib was drawn onto on this candle because that was the highest high, um, like that. This was the news candle. It came, it broke the high, but it didn't come here for entry. And we had placed the entry right there. Right, I'd placed a sell limit order right there, one there and one there. I think one here and one here and one here. I think no, one here and one here, right? And it didn't come. It was about a 36 pip stop loss. It didn't come there. It just broke the high and then went straight down after that. Went like a almost 250 pips down. So that can happen today as well. It's very possible. We're at all-time highs. Weird shit happens at all-time highs. This is not very normal. And today is a Friday anyway. It's the end of the week. So I'm not desperate to get into a trade. Um, yeah, so that was a trade that kind of, we missed. Price didn't come up to our entry. Entry was around that and fell short by about good 20, 25 pips, I think. Was it? Yeah. Yeah. 17 pips. Fell short by about 17 pips. Didn't come. It came close. It didn't come here. Very similar thing happening today. Price is dropping, right? Dropping, and then the next one, I don't know if this is going to come all the way up to our entry. It might just come here and then go down. But it's the same thing that's happening. We came to a high liquidity zone. That's why it's so important to mark these high liquidity zones. But the thing is, sometimes it doesn't come to like a tight entry. But that's okay. I'm fine with that. That's how I trade. I'm absolutely fine with price not coming deeper to give me an entry with a very tight stop loss. But it's the idea. It's about understanding why this was marked as a high liquidity zone, why the fib was marked the way it is. Again, I'll tell you why the fib was marked the way it is, because we broke two highs here, right? So this candle broke this high, and this candle broke this high, right? So the fib is drawn on that candle, right? And I said this. While this candle was forming, I said this candle has got to break. This candle has got to close, and the next one has to break this current candle high, which it did, and it has to close. So it closed. We drew the fib, but price didn't come up here. So that's unfortunate. It came up just fell short of about 10 pips, 8 pips, fell short of about 9 pips, and dropped. And that's quite a big drop. That's about a 77 pip drop from that red zone. And the reason I will not take a trade here while price is moving is because I don't know where in this zone price is going to turn, right? It turned right at the edge here, but it could also go up here and turn anywhere there. And I don't want to be holding drawdown when price gets here, right? That is why I wait for the candle to close. Once the candle close, I know, okay, it's grab liquidity from this area that I had marked, and this area is marked based on this candle. If you go down to the 30-minute, that's the candle that caused the drop. It's gone back, it's grabbed liquidity from that candle. That's where the sell orders are, right? That's a supply zone, rally based drop on the M30. And if you go down to the M15, that's the bearish engulfing candle, right? You had a bull candle, then a bearish engulfing candle. It broke the low and it closed below, so you have almost like a kind of a bearish engulfing candle, and price came to that candle. Now, I didn't come higher. I would have loved it to come higher. Then if it did come higher, I would have taken a touch trade there and anticipated price to push down, but it didn't come. It just came right to the edge of that zone, touched it and fell down 78 pips, almost 80 pips. But let's see. It's got 5 minutes for this candle to close. The next one should break the high. We are now. So what's happening is prices. We have resistance here, right? Above this, let's go on the 15-minute. we also have a minor resistance level here. Um, so there's a minor resistance level here. Okay, this high is 367. Price stopped right there before it moved up, and then came here, closed below, but pulled back up here. That high sits perfectly with this, the open of this. This open is 371, and this high is 361. Perfect. Okay, and then here, and that's exactly where we're reacting to. So this high is 44404. Okay, so we got a minor resistance level there, and then we got a level here. Um, Actually, we can get rid of this one. That's better, right? All of the rest happen in between this, so that's better. Okay. Yeah. So if we close below in the next 3 minutes, we should go down, right? We go straight down, and we're heading towards demand. That's where we're heading. That's the final stop, demand. Okay. We could probably push down further, but that's where we're heading to. So if we close below, then it's unlikely price is going to come back and give us entry, just like yesterday. We started close below support resistance levels, and then price just continued down. And that's very possible that that happens today as well. It just doesn't come up. The price has got to push up about 40, 45 pips to get us entry. About 2.5 minutes for this candle to close. So we got resistance there, and we got uh, support resistance level here. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so yeah, as I said, so you can see them on the 30-minute as well. You can see these are SAR levels. You can see price uh, reacted to it here, closed above, closed below, tried to come, couldn't, based here, rejected, closed above, closed below, used this level like as a springboard to bounce from several times, then came back here, couldn't, fell down, came back, couldn't close above, fell down again, and then closed above. Okay, and now we could probably close below again in the next 16 minutes. So on the M15 is also similar. Yeah. A minute for this candle to close. The next one should break the high, but I don't know if we're going to get entry. It might just break the high and continue down. Okay, close right there, closed above, just above it. We may create a bottom we can go back up because we did close above it. This is just a lot of trash here basically. That's why it makes it a little difficult to draw these zones. The start level is so much going on here. It's just H4 on the H4 is just dojis, just garbage on the H4. Yeah, that's better. So we closed above it. That's better. Yeah. Yeah, so we create a bottom wick, we're heading up now. We should break this high. It will break the high. Not should it, it kind of most certainly should kind of will break the high because if it is to go down, it needs liquidity. So it's going to break the high, but I don't know how far it's going to go. If it's going to go deep here or if it's just going to go to our entry and come down. But we have closed above this, so it should break this high. And this high is here. This is the high of the, should go up deeper and then hopefully get a winning trade today. Come down here. This is where we're expecting 70. Let's see. Let's see, we're getting awfully close, 11 pips away. We should come to this supply. There is supply here, but there is also supply here. Close 154. Right. I should tap this. I'm going to place an order there. Drop base, drop. But we might break this. We might go deeper. If we do, I have to manage risk. I have to wait for this M15 candle to close to be able to manage risk. Well, hopefully this M15 candle shouldn't go right through and break this. It should pause somewhere, so then I'll be able to manage risk if price goes uh, too high and I get in a lot of drawdown. Yeah, we're about 27 pips. That's a good stop loss, but is price gonna come up here? That's the question. We're gonna drop now. We've broken the high. No, we haven't yet. Almost there. 0.95. It's gonna break the high now. 16. Yeah, here. Should break it in the next couple of 1-minute candles. This one or the next? Next. So now, if price gets in here and does turn and goes in our favor, then M15 candles need to close below this. I say M15 because today is Friday and there is less volume today. So I would want to see M15 and 15 candle close below this to continue down. Yeah, price has done about 159 pips today. That's it. It's not done a lot. It's just done about 150, sorry, yeah, about 159, 160 pips. The next M5 candle should break the next one. Not this one. I think this one should close down and the next one might break it. We had a very similar situation yesterday. Price came right up there to the highs on the M15 and just didn't get to our entry. Very similar. So we got resistance here, we got support here. Price is right in the middle of this too. It's about a 50 pip range. Six minutes more for the 30-minute candle to close. So that 30 minutes has rejected that area. Close to the big wick has rejected that resistance, has rejected the red area from the high liquidity zone. We just want we want this candle to come up here. That's what we want, and then push down. But it might not. We are pushing down. We close below, then we're continuing down. We're not coming back up again. Yeah, we are closing below. This 5-minute is closing below. We should continue down now. I don't think we're coming up again. We're going down now. We're not coming up. It's exactly what happened yesterday. Price came to the high and just didn't come to entry. Fell short by about 7 pips, 10 pips. Yeah, we're pushing down now. But I can't take a trade there. I'm going to take a trade with a 49 pip stop loss. Yeah, we closed below. We're heading down. 15-minute candle should close below as well. Yeah, this 15-minute candle should close here below this resistance level, and then we're going down. And then the next area, the next support level is yeah, roughly there. That's the yeah. Yeah, we're coming down here now. Sorry. Yeah, so we didn't get entries. What happened was exactly what happened yesterday. Price didn't, it came to the high, it didn't come to our entry, and we're coming down, straight down now. Yeah, yesterday we missed it. Today we missed it by about 6, 7 pips. We're coming straight down. This candle is going to close below this support. The next one should pull back up and then come down here. Come below this. Now we're coming to this support, right? If we close below this support, then we're coming further down. It's exactly what happened yesterday. What happened here is exactly what's happening here. Um, yeah, yeah, just candle just dropped with this candle just dropped. There was no, we didn't even come to this. It just came to that supply level. Okay, no problem. No problem. Just gonna redraw this. Let's see if we could redraw it on no, redraw it on the M15. Yeah, so we closed below. M15 candle closed below. The next one broke the low. We're coming to this support, this one right here. Yeah, so the 330. 262, 264. Hmm. Two nine one. Almost tapped into 6450. It has to touch. It should touch 2664.5. Should touch this. But we're just reacting off this 2665. Um, so we're going to probably push up and then grab liquidity and continue down. Oh, tapped here. Just tapped. Tapped. Stop loss is too big. Can't do it. Can't take a trade there. So that's what usually happens. We close below, we come back, tap the fib, and then we continue. Yeah, that's about right. Okay, so if you look at the 30-minute time frame, Price reacted to it pretty well. Touched, couldn't close above, close below, touched, closed above, reacted, close below, came down, came all the way up, close below, reacted here, closed back down, came, touched here, they closed above, closed back below, touched, went up, reacted it to here with this wick here, closed below, closed back above, reacted here, reacted here, reacted here. Yeah, perfect, perfect. So as I said, if you draw them correctly if you draw support resistance levels correctly, like how I've done these three, then it should look very clear on at least 3 time frames. So from right down from the H1 onwards, you should see these levels, price tap in them perfectly. So now there's a minor level here that price is struggling at, but we need to come here because we close below. We need to come here. We're just probably pushing up to grab liquidity. Yeah, we probably come down now. Hey man. I'm gonna probably be here another till the 4-hour candle closes. That's it. It's a Friday. If you're getting on a trade here, I'll take it. Otherwise, and if it goes against me, I'll manage risk, and that's about it. Done. Because it's a Friday, and I don't wanna. I'm not gonna be sitting here past 2 hours after NY Open. It's already about 2 hours since we started the stream. So yeah, it is 2 hours already since we started the stream. So we'll be here for another maybe 30 minutes, and then that's it. We'll call it a day. Um, on the higher time frame, we're just ranging. We're not really doing anything. Just see these moves on the 5 minute and the 1 minute, but on the 4 hour, we're just ranging. We're just ranging. We ranged here, we ranged here, we ranged here, we're ranging here. We're just ranging. That's it. There's nothing happening. On the 5 minute, yeah. So we are rejecting that area again. We came up. We couldn't go above. Just falling again. So yeah, I don't think price is going to come up here to get an entry. It's just came back to this 5 minute level and then just dropping again. Yeah, close back below, so we're probably going down now. We can just create a top wick and go down. And once you go down, just like this candle, it closed down, continued down. This one close below, create a top wick, and we should break the low and continue down to the support here. On Fridays, I rather not get into trades. I'm not a fan of taking trades on Fridays. Um, you might have big moves, but moves are very unpredictable on Fridays. It might range, you might have a big move, a spike, might have a sudden move for about 15 to 30 minutes, and then it just ranges after that. So anything is possible on a Friday. This is also almost the close of the the monthly candle, because next Monday is the last day, but this is the end of the week, so it's the end of the weekly candle. So the weekly candle has basically uh, it's very likely going to close a bullish candle. We got about 7 hours left for the candle to close, so that's a very long time. Anything can happen in 7 hours, absolutely anything. This candle can come down and close a doji as well, but it's unlikely 400 price is going to drop 400 pips because there is no news event, there is nothing. So we did tap back into that 266,950 and we are falling now, and we should continue down. We've broken the low, so we should continue down. 15 minutes for the candle to close. This candle should close here. We respected the high, we broke the low, we should continue down. And we failed again to come up to the entry. It came very close, failed again to come up to the entry. Unless I take an entry here with the stop loss above here, 30, using this resistance level and place a stop loss above there. That's possible. That's possible. Yeah, that's possible. Because price is not, doesn't seem to be breaking these highs. 35 pips, 27. Yeah, it doesn't. 15 minute. Just wait for the 15-minute candle to close. The 4-hour candle, yeah, it's rejecting that area. Gonna wait for the 15-minute candle to close. See if price can respecting that high. So you can use this resistance and see if you take a trade to come down here. Here, 46 pips. If price comes back here, the next candle comes back here. Close 779. Yeah. So price just came back to that supply zone wick and fell down. Let's see if we can come back to this supply here to take a trade coming down here. It's about a 30 pip stop loss to come down about 45 pips. Yeah, I don't really like taking trades like this, but we just failed to get get beyond that. This price has just failed to even. Yeah, we just came to that supply and we're falling. So that resistance is holding prices. That resistance push price down. This resistance is holding price down. We should come to this support. Um, Where's this high? This high is the 74.34. This high is yeah, that is the 4 hour. That's the 4 hour high. So this is the 4 hour high. 74.34. That's the 4 hour high. So the price is just pushing down. Yeah. Just if we went and touched there, we didn't even get entry there. We're coming straight to the support now. So we closed below, reject, pulled back, created a top wick, came down, closed again, and now we're coming to the support here. Once price breaks this support, we should push straight down to this demand zone. Without any problem at all, we should push straight down to this demand zone. Yeah, we're not coming up. We're not coming up anywhere here now. We're done. Price did come, grab liquidity from the resistance area and push straight down. Now we're coming to this support. We close below, we're coming straight down to this demand zone. Yeah, that's the move. 100 pips, come down 132. We should come down about 160. We should come to about 170 here. We should come down to about 106. We should come down about 170 pips. It's just a Friday. It's just this crap happens on a Friday. So again, just to understand the importance of drawing these supply demand zones, high liquidity zones, and support resistant levels correctly. Correctly is the key word there, not just anyway. So I've been doing these now. There are quite a few of these sessions that I've done. Um, See how I draw them. I've explained it as best as I can when I'm drawing them. When you're drawing the support resistant levels, look at the number of touches of price closing below and price closing above. The more the better. So not, I wouldn't say the more the better, but significant at significant times. So during the London session, those touches are important. During the pre-NY session, those touches are important. The New York Open, those touches are important. This is the pre-NY session touch and close. This is the NY Open touch and above. So those are important. So just try to draw it within those uh, around those session open hours, important session open hours, like the Asian session open, the London session open, the pre-NY session, which is about an hour before the New York Open, the NY Open, the NYSE Open, these times, right? So when you're looking at the M15 time frame, kind of uh, take that into consideration. Don't just draw support resistance levels anywhere. Try to get those things. And see here, this is exactly the London Open, right? You can see how price rejected. It's important because this is the London Open. Right here is the London Open, right? Then this is the NY Open. So that's why this support level is important. Okay. So if you go back, this is the Asian high. So that is why that is important, because it reacted perfectly to the Asian high, reacted there, right? It's not anywhere, anytime. So you got to not just learn how, you got to learn to draw them correctly. That's the key. Learn to draw support resistance levels correctly. Learn to draw supply demand zones correctly. Learn to identify high liquidity zones. And then when you get in a trade, um, and if price goes against you, then learn to manage risk correctly. based on the M15 time frame. This is very important. That is why I kind of put this here. This is why this is so important, right? The right action leads to the right result. The right result can be a win, can also be a loss. They're both right. They're both right. The loss is also the right result. The correct loss, not any loss, not just if you overtrade or over risk and then take a loss, or if you just keep extending your stop loss and taking a loss, not that loss. But if you manage risk when your trade goes in drawdown and then take a loss, that's the right loss. And then you'll get this trade. You'll get the right win. The right win is a low risk, high reward, high probability trade. You will get that if you do these three things. If you do these two correctly, if you just do these two correctly, you will get this automatically. This will lead. These two will lead to this. These two will result in this. Right? That's what will happen. If you learn to draw supply demand zones correctly and learn to identify high liquidity zones correctly, that will lead, if you take a trade based on that, that will lead to this. And if that trade goes in for any reason, for whatever reason, right? This is a probability game. So if that trade goes in drawdown and you manage risk, then that will lead to this, right? That will lead to this. This, I don't trade from support resistance levels, but I draw this just to show you guys how when closes below, if you draw them correctly and price closes below a resistance level, it will go to the next SR level. If it closes below that, then it will come to the next one. If it closes below that, it will go to the next one. That's the purpose of drawing these, right? To draw them so that so that you guys learn to draw them correctly. Okay, so we got about 8 minutes for the NY for the 4-hour candle to close. So NYSE opened about 20 minutes ago. That was the reason for the push down here. So this push down, this was the NY move up. So just to explain what's happened so far, this was the NY open push up about 113 pips. Then price grabbed liquidity and pushed down a little bit and then stayed here. And then the NYSE open and price pushed down another 70 pips, and this move should continue down with the next 4-hour candle, right? Because we are rejecting, the 4-hour candle is rejecting that area, and the next candle should maybe create a top wick and then continue down lower. So we should come down to these areas probably about here, another about 90 to 100 pips. We should push down up to about there, or even lower. It's a Friday, so we could even come down lower to these areas, which is another 100 pips or 125 pips further down from current price. But I'm not going to be here for that. I'm going to close my charts in about 5 minutes, end the stream in about 5 minutes, and close my charts in about 5 minutes. We've now touched 266,450. It's right there to the pip. We touched it. We're reacting off it now. We might come back up here a little bit. We might come back here again. It's also the 4-hour candle. Yeah, I might close this order. I don't want to take an entry just before the 4-hour. Yeah, because the next candle is going to push up. So I'm going to close this. In fact, I'm going to delete all my pending orders. Yeah. So deleted all the pending orders because the 4-hour candle is just about to close in 5 minutes. I don't want to hold a pending order, keep a pending order in place when the next 4-hour candle opens. Because generally when the next 4-hour candles open, there is volume that comes in, either because previous orders from the previous 4 hours are closing, or new orders are coming in with the new 4 hour open. So there is a bit of volatility there, So the price can move either way. So that's why we sometimes see when you have a candle like this, price sometimes goes higher, breaks the 4-hour high, previous 4 high, and then goes down, or breaks the previous 4-hour low and then goes up, right? Because orders are closing and new orders are opening. So you don't want to be in the market with a pending order. If you've got an open order in place, if you have a trade running and you have your stop loss in place and you know how to manage your risk and your TP is in place, that's fine. But I don't want to get into a new order right at the open of the new 4-hour candle, right? Of the next 4-hour candle at the open. So I'm not going to be doing anything here. Um, yeah. Okay, I'm just going to wait for another 3 minutes and then we're going to end the stream because um, this is it's Friday. It's just ranging. We've had a move up, 120 pip move up. We've had a almost similar move or 100 pip move down, and we're just waiting right now. So it's a Friday. It's not expecting anything significant to happen today. You never know, but I like taking more predictable opportunities rather than unpredictable opportunities. So I will I will I will keep hammering this point uh, as often as I can in uh, in these streams, in these educational streams, because these streams are not about um, me trying to grow my account or trying to take um, you know trades with a lot of profit. That's not the purpose of these streams. That's not what I'm here to do. Uh, I'm not interested in that at all. I'm here to share some education and value and hope it will help at least one person. If I can help one, I've done my job. That's the reason. That's the only reason for these streams. I don't want to. I'm not here to show how much of gain I've got for the week or the month, to set any goals and to try to chase um, a percentage gain. That's not the purpose of this stream. There are other videos for that. There are there are other traders who you can go follow for that. This is just to share. Um, this is just to share a concept or a trade setup that I have found to be very profitable, that is non-subjective, uh, and that rewards you with low risk, high reward, high probability trades, right? That is the purpose of this, right? Not to just take trades anywhere and to grow my account. That is not the purpose of this. That's why I put this as a slide, because this is the mission. This is the mission. This slide right here is the mission. So I'll keep uh, putting this slide in every now and then, so that even if you don't watch all the videos, you'll hopefully be able to grab this, take a screenshot of this, and just you know uh, educate yourself around the right action. Educate yourself around these 4 points. Fine, there are mentors, there are educators in trading that teach technical analysis and fundamental analysis, but make sure that they cover at least some of these. How to manage risk. That's a very important concept. How to draw support resistance levels correctly. How to identify areas to trade from. That's very important. So that, yeah. All right, so we had this is the 4-hour candle close. We rejected, we are rejecting that resistance level as well. So we should continue down. We've rejected that resistance level, the one we drew at the top, and this one. Let me just get rid of these. Okay, so we rejected the 4-hour candle, rejected that resistance level, and rejected this resistance level, just like this candle did. It rejected this resistance level. So now price is pushing down, right? So once a M5 or M15 candle closes below this support level that we've drawn here, so it's even visible on the 4. We had drawn this support resistance level even at the beginning of this week. So if you go back and look at the last uh, 3-4 streams, you'll see this level was drawn, and I draw this every day. I draw these levels, SR levels, support resistance levels every day, so that you guys learn how to draw them correctly. Correctly is the key word, remember that. Not just anywhere. Draw them, learn to draw them correctly. If you draw them correctly, you will see them on several consecutive time frames. So this shows on the 4-hour as well. So once we have a M15 candle close below that, then we're coming down into this green zone. Okay, just keep that in mind. So this price did exactly what it did. Yeah, so we touched it as expected. Price rejected that close below. So we were coming to our next support level, which is here. We touched it. Now once we close below here, we're coming down to the green area. So this is exactly what happened yesterday. Price didn't get us entry. It struggled to get up, came, fell straight down, right? That's the same thing. Price came, couldn't get us entry, struggled, fell straight down. Okay, right. So that's the end of the stream. I will be back here on Monday and we'll do our analysis just like we did today. And we will look for opportunities to take a trade from, and I will share as much education and value as I can next week as well. Thank you for being here. See you next week.